Alrighty, here we are back again with another totally normal siege where I do my usual thing and I obviously go very aggressive, sally out. Definitely don't bring just a very uncomfortable army for me. Nah. In all actuality, it is a very interesting battle. That got a bit interesting, mainly because what we're about to see in a second was not planned for by anyone other than one person, and no one else knew about it. You can kind of tell that from the army comps that we're about to go over. Obviously, the attackers aren't going to be affected because the attackers have no idea this is happening. But what we're going to do is we're going to start with good old Galatia, who is brought to us by Mr. Garen here. He's got himself 2 Galatian noblemen, including his general, 1 fixed ballista, 1 Celtic skirmisher, 3 mercenary Syrian archers, 5 Galatian legionnaires, 2 Galatian spears, 2 levy freemen, and 3 naked swords. Not saying enough people bring naked swords. Those are a fun unit. Not good for head-on attacks, but you hit them in the flank and they will tear. Sadly, not one out here, or else I would show you the stats. Maybe I'll remember when we get into the actual battle. But next up, we have ourselves. Let's go with Averni. Yes, Averni, brought to us by Mr. Propane himself, Propania. He's got himself 3 Oathsworn, including his general, 1 fixed ballista, 4 Gallic hunters, 4 Celtic warriors, and 5 chosen swordsmen. Let's see. Kind of intermingled together, so let's go with Seleucid, who has more out. Seleucid is brought to us by Mr. Basic Smoker. Real fun guy. He's actually in the Discord every once in a while, so if you ever do pop into the Hungry Wolves Discord, definitely give him a look up. He's usually playing the game, and he's always down to be in a voice chat. As long as the kid's not asleep, of course. But he's brought us 3 Silver Shield warriors, including his general. I think they're actually Silver Shield swordsmen. Yes, Silver Shield swordsmen, sorry about that. 1 fixed ballista, 4 Syrian archers, and 7 thorax swords. Finally, we have Colchis, brought to us by Legio 22. It's a Colchian noble general, 4 eastern archers, 4 axemen, 3 hillmen, and 8 cartleys. Actually, a very dangerous army for that. I would have preferred 1 or 2 more spears, and maybe a few more Colchian nobles, but different strokes for different folks. Well, getting to the defenders, we're going to save our wild boy for last, but we're going to start with Boei here on the flank, brought to us by Mr. Joannet himself. If you haven't, join the Hungry Wolves Discord. It is always a lot of fun, especially on fight nights like this. All of us, both attackers and defenders, get in the room, we shit talk, we play around. It's a lot of fun, in my opinion. But he's brought himself an Oathsworn general, 2 heavy horse, 4 Celtic bowmen, 2 axe warriors, 3 Celtic warriors, and of course, 6 sword followers. Next up, my army. And as you know from me, crazy aggressive moves. Definitely a bunch of sally out forces or guerrilla forces. Decided not to do it this time. We got ourselves a Roma by me. We got a Legatus General, 5 Evocati cohort, 2 Legionary cohort, and 5 Veteran Legionnaires. Very scary army. Very small army. 2 things I'm not a fan of. No mobility. Another thing I'm not a fan of. But bringing up the other fun, defensive, and definitely not weird armies, we have ourselves here Carthage, brought to us by Enoris. Now, he's brought a general's bodyguard, so I was secretly hoping we would lose this game the entire time, because it is... If you bring a general bodyguard as Carthage, I hate you. Just a fact. Like the sky is blue during the day. Yeah. But he's got himself, outside of that disgusting general's bodyguard, 3 mercenary Gallic warriors, 2 mercenary Iberian swordsmen, 3 mercenary Italian swords, and 6 sacred band. Unit not brought out a lot. Let's show it off. Look at these sexy boys. And that's a lot of purple. This shade of purple in the back in the day was, ooh, that was expensive stuff, buddy. They're a fun little unit. Actually, pretty good attack, pretty good weapon damage for a hoplite unit. I mean, 59 melee defense, 105 armor. I mean, just as much armor as an Illyrian hoplite, so that's how you know it's good. But, of course, on top of that, fun fact, hoplite wall does actually, despite it not saying it, give a bonus versus infantry. If you look in the mod files, you'll see it. But our fight, enough Stalin, our final army here, the one that changed how this battle was going to go. We have Nervii here. He's got himself an Oathsworn General, Celtic Slinger. He's got himself 3 Celtic Warriors here, 4 Fierce Swords. Then that Levy Freeman hiding back here, of course. You know, most important unit, you got to keep that one back. Keeping it back with his general. And of course, he just, you know, that's not all of his army. He's got over here 3 Gallic Hunters and, well, 6 Gorilla Swords. For an interesting flank. Because he's got enough here as Nervii that you wouldn't think to think of as flanking force. So, before we get this battle started, if you do have any battle replays you'd like me to cover, I do have an email in the description. Just throw it to there, and I'd be more than happy to cover it. I do love covering Fight Nights, but it is always fun to grab a battle or two from somewhere else. A battle that I'm not involved in, maybe. Now, let's get this started now. See you on the other side. Alrighty, well, getting this started, we got ourselves definitely.
If death is the price for victory, so be it. I hope that you live to celebrate victory with me.
Oh, good job, Legatus. Well, he already knows that he's not going into battle, so he is definitely hoping they all live with him. Got here, trying to take out this ballista. Because we do have a few ballistas we have to deal with. That's one down. Ooh. Next shot here. Another miss. If you want to know how you fire very fast, by the way, you actually target it manually. So, to get that fire rate like that, you have to tell the target to fire at something, and then you also manually fire it as well. Basically, they run off of 2 separate reload timers. Don't ask me why, but they do. That's 2 down. Well, as that's going on, this is a bit more interesting. Another trick that you might learn is that these units do not become visible until the last unit is out, if they're hidden. It's very useful for Cav, because Cav likes to get stuck and you'll have like one unit hiding for very long. So you'll get pretty far out before that goes through. Look, this one's still hidden. That means all its units are out, just like that one. But as a mixed bag, you can actually get a pretty good, decent one there. I mean, obviously the Hillmen are dropping down to those Celtics. And oh gosh, there's a Fierce Sword against that Hillman. Oh, poor boy. Hillman going down. Looks like the Axemen are coming out to help out. Slukit Who was that firing in? Slukit or Averni? Averni firing in. We got here ourselves a Celtic Slinger up there helping support. That Fierce Sword and that Celtic Warrior preparing against the defense. Intact from the one and only Charlie 6 Zulu. How'd he do? How did I do? 3 ballistas down, 1 left. But as these Hillmen pull back, yep, exactly what you want to do. Pull in, get a flanking charges, get some hits. I mean, that Axeman is just losing men. Right, that Axeman pulling back despite having red morale. Artillery coming in as well from Carthage. We have ourselves here some Bowie Eye heavy horse scouting round, discovering... Well, looking for some boys. Seeing if they see anything. And the real trick. The long flank. It's been a while since I've seen a long flank like this, and it is always nice to see, to be perfectly honest. Celtic warriors pulling back, being replaced out with those fierce swords that are fresh. Those fierce swords will do a lot better than those Celtics, especially only if they don't get shot in the back, because those shots are not the best for you. But yeah, smart move. It looks like what he's gonna do. Yeah, get them into this forest. Use that forest to get as close as possible. Probably try to sneak into here or sneak into here, and then move on in. I do it every once in a while. It's hard to do unless you have stock units. Most stock units tend to be infantry. Boom. Popped. Nice hit on the thorax. How's that looking? 70 kills. And mine got finished at 7. Nice hits. Oh, a miss. Alright, we got ourselves a Celtic warrior making our way in. Legionary cohort trying to get into position. But with this Celtic warrior getting up, they're gonna hit them in the flank. They're gonna target around, which is a smart move, because if they didn't, they would have been flanked, and this gate would have been plugged. So right now this isn't plugged. They can use another unit to hold this legionary cohort in place. You can start getting around, filtering around. Yep, Nervier playing the good boy, pretending to hold back. Pretending he's playing delay game. Ooh, nice hit on those. Veteran Legionnaires getting the flank. Celtic Warriors coming here. And these Legionary cohorts coming in to plug that gap. Because luckily, Veteran Legionnaires will beat Celtic Warriors. They've given up on trying to destroy another piece of the wall. With just that breach done, it's going to be tough for them to take it. Bowie Eye playing as a supportive army, just to make sure that there's no flanking maneuvers down into this back area, which, to be honest, would be a smart move from Galatia. You just kind of like flow this way. Especially when everyone starts hitting here, you flow a little farther. Use that to help. Look at him holding here, smart. Yep, part of this, 1, relies on luck. 2, it relies on just timing. Without both of those factors, it's not going to work out. But he's doing well right now. Javelins from this legionary cohort coming in. These veterans killing some thorax, stopping them from firing in. More Nervii boys coming out. That heavy horse hiding here, making sure, hoping that they would forget about him. Though that nobleman is still faced that way. Thorax dropping. Celtic Warriors apparently technically winning. Probably not after that one. It was a beautiful volley. And actually the unique precursor, as these guys actually do have Pilum. Most traditional have javelins. These guys actually have the unique Pilum, which do more damage, to be honest. They do more armor piercing, if I'm not mistaken. Which is what they're designed to do. Here comes Galatia, coming out of this forest here. Yes, we got some naked swords. Alright, as I mentioned, I wanted to take a look at these naked swords. 30 melee attack, 25 weapon damage, 15 bonus versus infantry, 32 charge bonus with a frenzy, 60 melee defense, obviously 10 armor, which is all shield, because they're naked. then 55-55. That's actually not bad stats. You just don't want them as a frontliner. In most cases, actually in this case being a frontline unit isn't the worst because there isn't any boys who are going to target you in the flank with it ranged. Nervii getting into position. Looks like he's on a formationist hack style, which isn't a bad thing. Ooh. Discovering a Kartli over there. So it looks like the Kartlis are hiding in the back. Yeah, look, there they all are. Trying to flow left, or trying to flow right, but two of them have been discovered. You might as well just charge in, strike. Strike now, especially with the Nervii boys doing the same thing up here. Trying to smash into this Seleucid army. I don't know if they've been noticed yet. Nope, they've been noticed now. Units reforming. Yep, they've been noticed. Nervii pushing out aggressively. Ooh. I want you to know that this is a 3-tiered settlement, so heavily defensive favored, especially if they just sit inside and play very defensive. Boii putting some boys out on the flank to go support the Nervii push and help kind of force them into a condensed formation, which is good for us. Thorax Sword to drop into Fierce Swords. Ooh. Celtic Warriors and Fierce Swords surrounding a Thorax, that's not good. These guerrillas targeting the Kartlis, they're going to lose, but it's a sacrifice to help slow down some of the infantry while they move in and crush a lot of Seleucid's boys. But Boii with his, he's got himself 3 sword followers up here and 4 Celtic bowmen. The heavy horse is trying to find a way through. Over here, Verney bring more men up. Same with some of the axemen over here. 3 units of axemen. Getting in against some veteran legionnaires, which they're not, to be honest, they're not going to win against. Now that Celtic versus Italian fight might be a bit better. Legionary cohort actually coming out against these hillmen over here. But over here, get more fighting. More of Colchis pushing out. This is what you want because you do have like an army and a half over here versus 1. Especially 1 lightly armored. You kind of want to start overwhelming their numbers. You don't want them to fire as much as they are. Yep, see? Starting to filter through gaps. This is actually very, very good from our boy here, Legio. Starting to filter through while Basic is trying to hold the line. Knowing he's going to lose some units. But some of these units are being surrounded. You see Chosen Swordsman. This is a very good teamwork to go handle this. How you want to do, smash this army out as well as put pressure on this here so the central army can't support. Don't mind the Legionnaire cohort with 217 kills that just ran out to do some damage. But good teamwork on our side, putting pressure on the flanks, not giving them a chance to get as many reinforcements as they need. These axemen get stuck and not able to push. They need people guarding the flank. If not, they'll be in trouble. And of course, Carthage coming out with some units to support as well. Keeping a bunch of pressure up, not letting them focus down that Nervii army. But it was very strong timing by Nervii. Probably got a good number of kills. Definitely put them in haywire. I mean, the downside a lot of times with 4v4s is even if this does really well, if it doesn't roll an army and kill it, normally you wouldn't consider it successful. In this case it is, just because we're able to put so much pressure on them. That this would win or lose in this battle. This would probably be considered a far more successful sally out than if he was playing with a bunch of randoms who, without Carthage coming out a bit, without Boii coming out on the flank, would not be as effective. Because now that Boii is in here, Galatia's not going to focus here. Arverni's going to have to start focusing here. While they're mopping this up, this is delaying everything and fighting it. I mean, this fight isn't much of a win. Celtic Warriors versus Legionary Cohorts. Going in. Still more artillery fire. Wild. Yep, they're firing into the range. That's probably a smart thing to do. Rally, they brought a Commander General. That Sword Follower won. They're going to target into the Nakeds. Start smashing. Range versus range. I mean, the bowmen aren't going to win, but that heavy horse is going to come around. Other unit heavy horse over here. Seleucid playing a smart play despite... Yeah, they've won that side. It's over now. But a lot of units damaged by Seleucid. Some decently damaged Colchis units as well. Yeah, some fairly damaged boys here. But yet, despite all that, they still have a presence outside with Sacred Band and all that. Now they have to deal with this flank. Which means this army that just survived a sally out is now going to have to start coming over here and supporting. Heavy Horse trying to find an opportunity to move on in. Sword Followers getting around, doing some real damage. But Celtic Warriors being pushed down this breach by the Legionary Cohort. Yep, Arverni's now in a defensive posture here. Let's see what else we've got. We got some more rotating. Heavy Horse preparing to hit these units that have just returned, these Levy Freemen. Probably cycle around, forcing the archers away. Alright, that unit's gone. And that Heavy Horse is just going to flow. Legionary Cohort pulling back while Veteran Legionnaires come on down. Hit into these Chosen. As I mentioned, they're going to flow. As there's not much ranged on the attacker's side. Or not much range, not much speed. This is why you want a few units, so you can mirror those Heavy Horse. Don't let them flow as much. Over here, the Wallfire's going down pretty well. A Colchian Noble down to 90 men. But over here, Boii still planking away, actually getting into the side of these Galatian Legionnaires, which is a really good play. I mean, non-shield aside, they're still well armored, but, I mean, they're going to start dropping to kills, yeah. I mean, 46, 40, 75. Numbers are starting to drop. This one Veteran Legionnaire is fighting both a Chosen and a, looks like a Thorax. The benefit of Gallic Hunters is they can remain hidden while they're firing. Plinking into that Colchian Noble. As they try to move him away. Heavy Horse preparing to flow again. The range fight restarting up as the Syrians get in range. However, the bowmen are not in range of the Syrians. Next set of Sword Followers moving up. Heavy Horse plinking right back into those levies. I'm assuming planning on breaking through them. Actually, flowing back out. Nice move. Just keeping pressure up. Forcing these guys to rotate out of position as the Sword Followers start getting on in. Yep, actually really good. Yep, they're not prepared. Did get a Javelin Volley off, but not a good one. Here the breach fight is still going. They're using a lot of ranged on heavily armored Romans. But with that, the sword followers and of course that Celtic are able to flow. Yep, that sword follow breaking through the middle, that's not good on them. Yep, smashing through. Oh, Celtic Skirmisher. I might have said Celtic Slinger. No, I did say Celtic Skirmisher. Good, I'm not crazy. Yep, good play from Galatia, keeping Heavy Horse back. 64 kills, lost 2. I mean, down to 50, killed 40. I mean, that's a pretty nasty volley into the Galatian nobleman. Losing, tied, winning. Nice little fight here, trying to do some damage. Syrian versus Singer. One kill? Yes, he got it. Thorax got 100. And now, an interesting one. Colchis moving over to try to overwhelm this flank. Not a bad idea. It's very aggressive, trying to overwhelm and strike them out, knowing that they can't really... Enemy can't really push out, so Bobia is forced to push back. Smart play. Now they just have to make sure they don't overcommit on there. But Nervii coming on out as well. Getting ready to prepare some boys. And Jerome pushing down the gap. But we got a unit of Silver Shield starting to come on in. As well as another unit of Chosen here. Carthage hasn't seen much combat, so Carthage was initially supposed to be one of the main armies. Is now playing support. While Boii, one of the armies that was just stationed back there to support where they needed, is now the main offensive one. And now they have a proper line, filling out with those Fierce Swords and that Oathsworn General. Yep, another rotate. Just because there's no mobility on the attackers themselves, that Heavy Horse can rotate without fear. Chosen Sword is almost down. Evocati still holding down here. Looks like we got an Axe Warrior helping. Yeah, trying to overwhelm the Galatian side right here over here. Yep, Galatia's being forced to pull back. Coincide with the rest of the lines there. Silver Shield pushing its way out, leaving the Chosen Sword to their fate. They probably could have done really well in that position, but it does look like, yeah, they're moving. Nope, they couldn't move an Oathsworn there because now they have to prepare for the assault. Especially because that Chosen Sword is dropping like they are. Yep, Silver Shield preparing to get onto the flank. As more and more Romans funnel down this gap. Nervii starting to get in. Oathsworn Fierce Sword. Boii giving it a second. Probably to the chagrin of Nervii, who wanted him to push in with him. And now, Carthage making a play to come on out and support as well, now that this assault is starting. Which is a really good play to do. Condense them as much as possible. Allow the infantry to flow around like this one. Evocati getting in the back of this Oathsworn. So they're going to be hit in the back, shot in the back. It's useful to start harming this unit, especially with the center breaking. Extend as much as you can. Silver Shield now at 9 kills. Sacred Band preparing, taking Nervii's place, as Boii finally assaults in. Breaking into these Legionnaires here. One of these into that Carly. Heavy Horse continuing to flow, forcing these Cartly to face backwards. And then Carthage planning with the rest of his army here. And this is the make or break moment. Can this assault on all sides actually manage to break through enough gaps to affect the units? Or will they have enough infantry to hold back? Especially from an assault on all sides. Ooh. Nice volleys from the Kartleys, though. Especially because this Evocati is still alive. I mean, they have 75 kills, 69 men, nice. Now it just dropped. What they're doing is they're just harming this Oathsworn at getting the attack and rear penalty. Helping out the Sacred Band. Especially as Nervii begins to flow more again over. There we go. But it is continuing to break out. An aggressive defense like this obviously has a lot of drawbacks. Funnily enough, the fact that all this was heavy-based infantry, not meant for sally out, might actually help them a bit more. Since they're not as mobile, they can engage in fights like this a bit more. And those Galax can't. Those Galax are screwed. They're being just shot. But things like these Evocati here, these veteran legionnaires, are that massive sword followers. Armies that are normally meant to be far more defensive, though even aggressive on their attacks, they're meant to be conventionally used. Sacred Band, of course. The fact that you can engage like this with a aggressive force, keep them out while have faster, more mobile infantry or more shock-related infantry just flank. I mean, even though that's a small unit of Fierce Swords, I mean, they're still going to get a good amount of kills. Like here, Romans are holding this position as the axes just start to funnel right along the edge and right on out. General's bodyguard coming on in, getting a charge in. Nice charge. Axe warriors, now that they're funneled through. Romans broken through.
Rome is mother to us all. Victory for Rome. Mars aid us.
You know, that legate is, or that general's bodyguard is doing really good. Reason I hate small cavalry generals is they're just not as effective. I would rather trust someone with a larger general size than someone with less of one. Over here, Nervii, close to Alpha, they've done their job. They've hit the enemy hard on both flanks and been incredibly mobile. Heavy horse here getting in as well. 207 kills. As this is coming, Evocati making its way over here. Right into those beautiful Thorax who were winning. No longer winning. Another unit of Evocati. Syrians trying to hurt these Evocati. Basically, this flank breaks, God. You can start sweeping around here, clearing this up and getting deeper in. Sword follower here. Oathsworn getting prepared to be surrounded. The heavy horse preparing over here as well. Now that the Thorax has their back to the Evocati, they're going to come back in. Ooh, nice volley. But more veteran legionnaires coming in there on out. That Evocati coming around and moving. This area is about to be broken through, about to smash its way through. All we have left here is a Silver Shield Swordsman. That Oathsworn still holding, man. General v General here. Galatian Nobleman versus Oathsworn. Both sides losing. But only one side's really being shot. And to be perfectly honest, the kills are still racking up. Heavy Horse in the foray again. Silencing units, especially those Eastern Archers. Now that Clear Legatus is out, providing moral support. Evocati, Veteran Legionnaires here. Some Veteran Legionnaires supporting the Sacred Band. Sacred Band taking this flank, doing as much damage to that Silver Shield. Still got an Italian alive. Damn, that's impressive. 2 Italians are still alive. Holy cow. Look at those pros. But the general winning that fight, getting surrounded. Heavy Horse continuing to flow. Still have healthy units. Legatus roaming around onto the far flank. Gallic Warrior still alive. Damn. Really a wild fight. Getting a flank into these Veteran Legionnaires, trying to finish them off. Heavy Horse hitting on this side. Right into those Easterns. Ooh. Tearing these guys down. That unit's probably gone. Legatus continuing to flow, trying to cause a distraction. And getting around. Mostly. And right into the back of these boys. Where they're already engaged with the Heavy Horse, this rear charge should definitely help hurt them. Heavy Horse coming in here. Broke that Cartly. Now this center is completely free. There is a Thorax here, and looks like the Nervii General is going to come for it. Heavy Horse going to hit it as well. With the center freed, Evocati here getting into the flank of these Cartlys, trying to hold them off. Sacred Band beginning to flank. Sacred Sword General is still alive. Small Oathsworn coming on in. Good kills. But a lot of the units are breaking now, up to 80 kills for the Legatus. 470 kills with a Heavy Horse. Like, holy shit. Right into the flank of those Colchian Nobles. Nice. Right in the back of those Cartlys as well. I mean, unit-wise, they're not very healthy, but, I mean... Levy Freeman coming in to help. Sacred Band winning this fight against the Silver Shields. But a unit of healthy Axe Warriors getting around right into those Colchian Nobles' flank. Not the best charge, but you know what? Flank charge. Let's see if we can see one die. Yep, now with that rear charge, this is going to start looking very, very bad for the Colchian Noble General. Heavy Horse out, 512 kills. 500 kills with a Heavy Horse. This, we have units starting to flow. Doing what they can. 199. I feel like he doesn't get 200 kills because that's just going to be the Roman life. Cartly's getting full surrounded, 69 kills, or 69 men, but now they're down a bit more. 192 kills, 193. It's still going up. That's pretty good for them. That's going to be over. Yep, over there. 206 for a noble. As I said, you should have brought a few more, in my opinion. But it was an interesting one that could have backfired on the defenders really hard. Honestly, if there wasn't as much teamwork on it, even though Vengeful Paladin did throw everyone off with that build without telling anyone, there wasn't as much teamwork and a willingness to, back a wild play as there was in this fight. You really would have seen just a breakdown. Nervii would have died supported or broken and alone without much support from the other sides. Would have been a grind, but it would have still been a 3v4. And to be honest, might have been very difficult for the defenders to win. That's why you back crazy plays. Because if the enemy's not expecting them, then it's a fun time. So, let's get this army comp started. First off, we got me as Rome. 118 for that Legatus. When it comes to these Evocati, when it comes to my army in general, there's two that are in over 100 kills. But when it comes to Evocati, 259, 166, 188, 207. Legionary Cohort, 234, 222. Veteran Legionnaires, 268, 199, 198, 227. Vengeful Praetorian. I think I keep calling him Vengeful Paladin. Vengeful Praetorian. Here with his Sally army. Kills wise, he's not going to look the greatest, to be perfectly honest, but he did a very good job with his army and did what he needed to do. But let's look into this. Yep. Oathsworn General 141. Celtic Warriors 188, 104, 174. Nice. Fierce Swords 20. Actually, sorry. Celtic Warriors 188, 104. Then Fierce Swords 174, 201. Alright. Guerrillas here, nothing to stand out on those guys, but they were part of the flanking force that just did help. Inora's here, 208 with the General's Bodyguard. Could have gotten 200 more if he had a Noble Cav. To be honest, if he had a Noble Cav where he was hitting with, that would have been really brutal. But it's the only way to get this army to work. 115 for those Mercenary Gallics. That Italian here, 115 kills, 116 for this Italian. Sacred Band, 104, 142, 145, 122. Good kills, even though they're not typically used for killing. But of course, most kills in this battle goes to Mr. Joe Onnet here. Oathsworn General, 359 kills. I mean, this heavy horse got 192 kills. That's good. That's good for a heavy melee cav unit. And then this one here, 512 kills. Like, god damn it. This one was feeling all high and mighty. The survivors were coming back home to tell tales of their 192 kills. And then this Chad walks in. But Celtic Bowman, 107, 109, 104. Let's see. What next is wild? Ooh, we got a Celtic Warrior here at 123 kills. And Sword Followers, 287, 181, 209, 201, 179. Rapagna here with Averni. 348 for that Oathsworn General. 175 for that Gallic Hunter, and 144 for that Gallic Hunter. So close, buddy. Celtic Warriors, one with 104. Chosen's, one with 136, one with 183. Of course, the remaining two Oathsworns, 153, 153. Ooh, same amount of kills. Nice. They're twinsies. Next up, we have Basic Smoker with Seleucid. Interesting army build. Fairly small. Though still 2,000 men. We got that General Silver Shield, 285. One of his Syrians got 100 kills, okay. The other remaining two Silver Shield Swordsmen, 222, 172. Thorax-wise, 143, 111, 126, and of course 252 on kills. Legio, who I think did a lot of work on this attack trying to keep it functioning. I think they did a wonderful job making sure following the flow of where the assaults were coming from until it became just too much for you to handle every flank. But we have here, of course, 208 on that Colchian Noble. Eastern Archers 122, 172. Let's see. Cartley's here 150, 164. Got a 218, a 194, 175, a 150, 148, and 155. Every single Cartley got over 100 kills. That is wild. Not one under 100. Gosh. Garen here bring us Galatia, or the Galatians. We got 124 kills on that nobleman. 111 on one of those mercenary Syrian archers. Then Chosen Swordsman 192, 203, 152. Yeah, pretty close on the Naked Sword, 94 kills. So that is it for me. Remember to leave a email in the email if you want to leave me a link. But also, what do you think could have had the attackers win? I always like to hear these answers. I don't tend to see them in chat, but I do get to hear them. I would love them in chat. That'd be fun. Start a discussion. Yeah. What do you think the attackers could have done to probably to win this fight, to be honest? But that is all from me. You all have a wonderful day. I'll be signing off now.